And we're live. So did you guys watch the debates?
No.
So the vice presidential debate happened. Woody analysis. Both sides think they won. It was close enough that I don't think any votes are going to be changed, which is like historically true of vice presidential debates in general. Like no one really says like, you know what? That Reagan's, I'm not sure about him, but HW, I'm voting for him. You know,
Yeah. I hate Trump, but that Pence.
right. No one's voting for Pence or Harris. I talked over you right there, but this election, maybe VPs are a little more important because both of the presidents are so old. But the deal is, Trump seems very far behind. I actually saw the 16-point poll you're talking about, Kyle. Mm-hmm. But the aggregate of polls that I look at puts it more at like 9. And that's a lot. That's a really big lead. So Trump needs change events. Trump needs something big to happen. And it's interesting to me that Trump is skipping the second debate. Now, I'm not married to the
campaign. Like
you would think anything that just gets us closer to the finish line without changing anything is good for Biden. That's my take on it. If Biden could just freeze everything and make it November 3rd today, he would be thrilled. So each debate is an opportunity for Biden to fall asleep, poop himself, whatever. So Biden just doesn't want that. Trump feels like he won the first debate. I think if the proof is in the poll results, Trump didn't win. The polls got much worse for him post-debate.
Winning for him means a different thing, though. Like even if if it was like a fucking NBA game and there were fucking points being kept and referees scoring, and he got the most points, that doesn't mean he won, because that's not the game we're playing. It's what the audience thought about what happened. And it's really if enough people heard something from Trump that made them change their mind. So it doesn't matter who wins or loses the debates. It's who is more convincing to the American people that they're the one to lead them forward. You can lose the debate as far as points might go and what the moderators think and what the talking heads think, but you can still win it with the American people. I would argue that Trump did that against Hillary.
Oh, perhaps. But I think we have the same definition for this time around. Like I actually watched Trump and thought, kind of an asshole, but alpha. I saw Biden, a little more likable. Definitely didn't drool on himself and poop. And perhaps more likable, but a little beta, which I saw as a negative. But now we've had time to digest it. We've seen what the polls have done, and it just got worse for Trump. Trump was an asshole is the only takeaway that people had. So he needs more change events going his way, and he's skipping the second debate. Yeah. Now, there's a thing about that. This is just a Woodyism, so put no faith in it. But I feel like walking away from the table is a standard part of the Trump negotiation process. He walks away from every negotiation we've seen him done, whether it be with China or real estate or debates or whatever. So the fact that he walked away and said he's out of the second debate doesn't mean he's out. This is just a part of the process for him.
I agree with that.
That makes sense. Because he wants to debate in person.
Of course, especially now when he's a walking biological weapon against a frail opponent. Are you kidding me?
They should put a big, just giant screen between them.
I'm telling you, it'd be so hilarious if Trump ran over and spit in his face or something like that.
What are you afraid of, Joe? Give me a big hug.
He's gonna go for a handshake. He starts
walking, chasing him around, trying to give him a hug, and Joe runs from him.
They're gonna agree to no handshake, and Trump is gonna run around with it.
He's gonna do
that's a good optic. That's actually a good optic. Trump coming forward with the handshake, and Joe literally running.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah. So I don't know if the second debate. I'm sorry. Say it again, Taylor.
Yeah, I was agreeing. He definitely wants to do it because he knows his numbers are bad right now, and it's just there's only so many little opportunities left to swing people, and so if it does end up that they're we're only going to do it virtually, and he doesn't do it, that's really bad.
ABC News said that if Trump doesn't do the debate, they're just going to do a town hall, Joe Biden and people on primetime TV by himself.
Yep.
And that can't, I mean, I guess it is an opportunity for Biden to screw things up, but I don't think he's been doing so well. He did this Gettysburg address. I didn't even watch it, but people loved it. He did another town hall. It went really well for him.
No, yeah, I don't think he can mess up those town halls because if Fox were hosting a town hall and maybe they had somebody out there with some loaded questions, I think that could be problematic. But I think as long as he's with any other network, he's going to get thrown some either questions he's prepared for or softballs in general.
Vice President Biden, favorite ice cream. It's like,
no, he's not bad at this though.
I'm a vanilla man myself.
He's been in politics for 47 years.
Like the sprinkles.
He's been in politics for 47 years. Sometimes, like, I think of him as the contender, you know, the guy who's new at this, but he's not. That's how I thought of McCain too. Or like, no, all of these people are practiced debaters who used to public speaking, have been doing it for ages. Biden will do fine.
Ancient.
Ancient, yeah,
fucking
sure.
ancient.
Fucking ancient.
I hate our political system so much.
Dude, it's working great. It's going good. Everybody's happy.
The federal government's just got way too much power.
Yeah.
I like a strong federal government more so than by state.
You should go to
for some things, a strong federal government are great, but for many things, they're not.
Okay.
I would argue that it'd be great if they focused on defense,
sure,
healthcare,
okay,
environmental protection, regulatory matters that because you can't have Alabama being like no regulations whatsoever, and then all the businesses come there and make Alabama just a fucking Blade Runner.
That's where the batteries come from, Kyle.
That's just where the batteries come from. And, it's just the rivers are cadmium, regulatory matters, things like that. But like,
not 100% sure what cadmium is, but I think it's inside those Easter eggs that you get.
the cadmium eggs that they get every year. The cadmium bunny. He comes around and he gives you the eggs.
He gives you the eggs and they feel really hot in your hand. And then
I don't know why you can't get cadmium eggs all year, but come Easter
bunny.
Time, you see him.
Cadmium bunny. He's bringing you leukemia this season.
little bald, pale children with the cadmium eggs.
The park, and they're just like a commercial. It's the cadmium bunny, and it's just irradiated. No, they're happy. It's an irradiated bunny hopping towards them. They run towards them, their teeth and hair falling out, fingernails.
It's a soft glow.
Does the yolk? But yeah, we'll see. The polls are not the same as they were against Hillary, right?
No.
The difference for them was like 3% or something. I've been looking at this recently.
4.5.
Okay, and now I'm seeing the aggregated polls at like 9 something, and the Rasmussen just came out and said
like 16 or 18.
It was 16. Rasmussen, which always leans Republican, was 11. Like that's a big number for a Rasmussen poll, and so it looks like Biden's smashing him. I can't believe Biden's smashing him by that much. Like I'm in disbelief, but I do think he's going to win.
I think he's going to win too.
Probably not by that amount, but I think he'll win.
Not by that amount, but I do think he'll win. Although it could be a crazy landslide. Like if right away, he takes Texas or something from Trump, then the late polling is like everybody's going to quit.
True. Yeah, if he were to take Texas, that's crazy. It doesn't seem to be that in play. Georgia's kind of in play. Georgia's
not as much as not as much as the media says. It's
okay.
It's just at the Atlanta area where there's a big, 40% of the population is definitely going to probably go to Biden, but every bit of the rest of the state will go to Trump.
Yeah, I just go by
everywhere I go, there's Trump fucking banners.
I see so few political signs compared to last election.
Every fucking where.
I only see Trump signs. And a lot of people take that as like a lack of support for Biden. But I think the whole shy Trump voter thing is so incorrect. Trump voters are the most outgoing people in the world. The hats and the signs and the clothes, it's a cult. Trump voters are way out there. It's a wardrobe choice. I think the idea that people are embarrassed to be Trump voters, but secretly Trump voters is off target.
I think
I
that
don't
professional
know.
people who are Trump supporters, I think that people outside of like rural areas are embarrassed to be Trump supporters. I think there's plenty of like really intelligent people who are, you know, doctors and lawyers and musicians who are just like, imagine you're a fucking musician, but you're a Trump supporter. How's that going to work?
Yeah, you don't say, if you're a musician, actor, celebrity, like you just don't say shit. Like you're not like, and I can say like that might be self-fulfilling, Woody, because like obviously the people you see who are that rah shish boom ba about it, like you're gonna be like, oh yeah, but like the guy walking normally, you don't know. I will say that like in my professional experience, like sitting with, you know how business meetings, people like talk about politics or whatever before and after, like little discussions. It is, I'll say infinitely, because I've never seen someone come into a meeting with a bunch of people they don't know, and then if politics come up, talk about supporting Trump. I've only seen it the other way. Like people will say like, I'm voting for Biden. That Trump guy's crazy. And I'll see people who I know are going to vote for Trump be like, man, what are you going to do? Crazy times, like that kind of shit.
So
I've done a bit of polling. I asked 2 black men recently in public. You know, I was with him, and you know, Trump was on TV, and I was just kind of like, you know what? I don't really like either one of them. This has been a crazy year, huh? And in both instances, both black men were just like, I don't like either of them either. Like, but they thought Trump was funny. Both guys thought Trump was funny and were entertained by him, because I was like, look at him. He's fucking saluting. Like after he got back from fucking having COVID, like the next day, he's like, he gave him the fucking salute, and with the one black guy like saluted back at Trump and thought it was hilarious.
You know what? I was thinking it's a good idea, because so many people you talk to are like, both these people suck. They represent parties that suck, and the parties themselves kind of serve the same masters at the end of the day. And so how about this? You can vote for the Republican, the Democrat, or there's a third option for a randomly chosen by lottery American at the conclusion of the election. Because I tell you this, I would vote for the random American. We
did that last time.
But think of the possibilities. There's so many Americans. And the only rule is they have to be 80 years old at least.
We did that last time.
Bernie Sanders is like, please. This
is my shot.
How old is Bernie? 70?
He's almost 80, like 79.
82?
Okay.
He's about to turn 80 probably.
I looked up the polling. This is an aggregate of polls. It has Biden losing Georgia by 0.4 and losing Texas by about 3.5%. Thought people might want to know.
I mean, Texas gets closer every election.
It does. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's the 2016 where I'm like, you have to win by more than 5 to win it all, you know, on the Democrat side. So it's like, yeah, we're losing by, what was it, 3.5? So they're still 8 points away from winning. That's my dumbass head. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah. So, well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch regardless. It does.
I wish there was a third option, though. I don't like either of these options.
Yeah, and the third party people always suck. Like, have you seen, we've talked about it before, have you seen the...
Ross Perot did not suck.
Well, I wasn't around for that. I'm just saying...
Vote for Ross Perot?
Twice. Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, this is Ross Perot's debate performance that like blew me away. So I'm young, I'm into third parties, and you know, no quitter talk, etc. As young people often find themselves. So it's cool, and they doing the debate. So all 3 of them are on stage, and this is how they answered like an abortion question. They say, you know, Democrat, pro-life or pro-choice. And he goes up there and explains why pro-choice is the worst possible thing and how he wish he wasn't that. It's a terrible decision, but I'm pro-choice. And then the pro-life guy does the same thing. You know, man, there's a tough spot. I feel for women, yada, 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 but I'm pro-life. And then they ask Ross Perot, pro-life or pro-choice? And he goes, pro-life. And he has like 2 more minutes left, and they're all looking at him awkwardly, and he goes, period. And I was like, fuck, I kind of like that. He's
not trying to excuse it. He's just, this is where I am. And take it.
And you know, he had a similar appeal to what Trump had in this. Like, he's a non-politician. He's a businessman. He thinks that he sees something that other people don't, and he's going to try to make it happen. He bankrolled it with his own money, but for real. And the night before the election, or 2 nights before, he got like 90 minutes on TV. He just did an infomercial, him and his goddamn charts up there explaining why he felt this way or that way and how the math worked out. And he said this. I'm not sure if it's still true or if I have the details right, but he was like, look, we don't even have to win this thing. But if we get 25%, the next election, my party's eligible for federal matching funds. You have to get 25% to be eligible for that. They don't just give it to anyone. So if we get 25% this time, vote for me. If we get 25%, then the next time we can win it. And I was like, fuck, I'm on board. And I don't think he got it. 19, 21, something like that.
That's pretty fucking though,
yeah. Let me fact check myself.
What year was that? Was that Bush Clinton?
92. It was Clinton v. Senior.
Bush.
Yeah, Bush Senior.
That was a rout. Clinton beat the shit out of him that year. I bet Ross took a lot of Bush votes. Yeah, like that was a real trouncing. I can't remember what the numbers were, but it was absurd how badly Clinton beat Bush Senior.
Pro got 19%, 18.9, but we'll call that 19.
Yeah, that makes more sense now because we were looking at that recently. Like, because Mitty, I got that bet with Mitty that he's going to have to eat that can of asparagus if Trump wins.
Dude, please, Trump win, and he has to record it.
Oh, he's changed the vote. We've changed the bet. It's even worse for him now.
How could it be worse?
I'm pretty sure if Trump doesn't lose by 100 points or more, he's eating that can of asparagus.
Oh, we win either way then. Awesome.
Oh, so asparagus is like a certainty now.
Yeah.
Almost. As long as Trump can keep it within 100 points.
Oh, he'll beat the spread, and he's going to be drinking asparagus juice.
Oof.
I like asparagus. It's one of my favorite vegetables.
Not canned asparagus, though. You like steamed or baked asparagus. If he's eating it out of a fucking can.
If the polls are right, according to 538, that's my source, so you can call it good or bad.
It's a good one.
Biden is currently winning by 150 electoral votes.
Well, that'll change up and down and up and down, probably all the way there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a crazy year. I hope it gets crazier. I made that prediction, I think, on PKN that Biden was going to die before election night. And
not too late.
It's not too late, obviously. Got a couple more weeks to go. Because I just think 2020 is some sort of, I think our fucking universe collided with another one and we've been twisted into some sort of parallel zone where black is white and up is down and just weird shit is going to happen. Just stuff that wasn't supposed to happen. Just odd, like make-believe nonsense, bizarro world shit is going to happen. And the most crazy thing that I could imagine happening would be within reason would be Biden fucking dying before this thing happens because I think Trump beats Kamala. Yeah,
you know who this season needs more of? Milo. Did they silence Milo?
Yeah, because of the pedophilia.
People are still mad about that.
I don't even know what he does anymore. Probably just run a different.
Republicans need more funny people. All the funny people are on the left.
And Coulter's funny.
What funny
Milo's
people on the left?
Okay, you could deny that you think that every night show host and comedian and whatever
I
is
don't
on
think
the left.
those night show hosts that
Tim Allen's funny.
The same lines are very funny.
Fine. Okay, well, everyone who works in comedy seems to be on the left. How's that? Can we agree
Tim
there?
Allen.
That's fair.
And
Tim Allen.
okay, Tim Allen also works in comedy, and he's on the
Tim
left.
Allen.
What I'm saying is there's an opportunity for someone from the right to be funny. Dennis Leary is pretty funny, and he's on the right. But anyway, Milo needs to make it known. He needs to plug that hole.
There's not much opportunity though for a right-wing political host that does comedy on there. Like, and NBC isn't going to hire him. CBS isn't going to hire him. ABC won't.
I hear you, but to me, this is like in the same way that Fox News is the #1 news organization. Now, I don't think it gets better ratings than all the others combined, but it is #1. There's a spot there. Milo might not be bigger than the other guys are certainly not combined, but there's a void. There's a spot for him.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's not a
honestly
medium for him to do it.
I'm gonna say it again. If Tim Allen had his own late night show where he roasted liberals,
there's a market.
there is
that
a
would
market.
be,
but
that'd be
they-
wildly popular.
filled.
So Taylor, you might be right. I don't know, right? Because I get it. These left-leaning companies, kind of, but they're also money-leaning companies, right? If this thing got good ratings because
Yeah,
was
Fox
the
News
only
doesn't
one
run out of
on the right.
advertisers.
If you get good ratings because it was on the right, and the same way that Fox News gets good ratings because it's on the right, and there's not a lot of right-leaning news stations, NBC might be like, well, money. That's our number one goal.
I would say that if money was their primary goal in that regard, they would have done this years ago because there is a demand for it.
They don't have the show business sense that I do.
They do have the show business sense that I do, but they choose not to go that direction, not because of money reasons, because of I would argue more ideological. So yeah, it's definitely not that there's no demand for it. There is. It's just there's no large platform that's willing to do that. I wouldn't say.
Well, I don't know. I don't like Milo's politics, but I like him on my TV. He's funny. I need a snarky little Milo out there chirping.
He's a strange guy. I don't want him on my side.
No.
Why?
He's
Is it the pedo thing?
It's because of the pedophilia.
But he said
yes.
that he was owning the victim role. You don't line up with that, I guess.
No,
It doesn't matter what I line up with. It's what the public lines up with.
He comes off as like a grifter, where he believes
Also
whatever he needs
that.
to believe to get donations.
I don't think he's an actual conservative.
Yeah, he's kind of like so many of these out of nowhere, like, look at this black conservative, and it's like, wait,
I was just
3
going to
years
say
ago,
Candace Owens.
Yeah, Candace Owens is a great example. What was it, a few years ago, that she was like totally anti-Trump, no way, no, and then look who comes knocking. Opportunity does. Hey, all you got to do, say these basic neocon talking points that all our donors like, and wouldn't you know that? Now you suddenly have a big platform. Now you're talking to people, and there's so many people like that in politics.
Okay.
Or in politics adjacent. I don't even know.
I never considered that he might be fake. I mean, he might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I at this point I assume so many of these people are fake. Just doing whatever gets the money rolling in. But maybe that's too simple.
I wish I could get the truth. I wish I could get him with a little truth serum. Like, hey, just between us. Like a gay Republican, don't you see how like you kind of rooting for the team that roots against you?
Well, and the Republicans are so pathetic when it comes to constantly saying the Democrats are identity politics. Also, come to the Jewish Conservative Alliance, and also come to the Hispanic Conservative get together and the Black Conservative meetup. And it's like you're doing like you hate identity politics so much that you went out to find a gay guy to say things that you're not comfortable saying otherwise because you feel like he checks a box that you needed checked. Like it doesn't come off as genuine. It comes off as feeling like they're going to check boxes and then, hey, you can't criticize us for saying this now because look, she's black.
And the cancel culture thing is the other hypocritical thing. Like Trump's out there trying to cancel Goodyear because they don't want people wearing like Trump shirts at work. And it's like, dude, you're cancel culture too. I said it right. Yeah. It's a both sides thing. Some of these.
I agree. Yeah.